We should be back. Now I got to go back and start this all over again. Then I'm going to get off because there's really not much to talk about. Good morning. No Pats. It went down again. I'm going to do the pop out all over again. So I'm going to read this again. And Jason asks, why don't you bring the Discord people on? I can't do it anymore unless all of them have good audio. I can't do it anymore. It drives my system absolutely crazy trying to re-level them. Because I always say this, I just don't have a sound card where you could control it through the control panel sound. It doesn't work like that through my system. It is a complex system here I have of audio. And when people say, Bill, your audio's too loud, your audio's too low, you're this, that, a lot of it has to do on how the computer's automatically trying to balance all the audio. It's one thing when I'm talking where it's stabilized. If I play a song, even the songs have different. I would have to do every song and mix down every song so that they all match the same. Because there's different audios when you get the music. So, is it true Ukraine has nuclear weapons? Well, there was talk that Europe, NATO, was trying to provide Ukraine with a nuclear weapon. And Putin said, if that happens, we're using tactical nukes. That happened a few days ago. So that's not the case. Don't buy into that. Like Cluster's saying, no, not true. But if I bring people on Discord on, one of them sounds really loud, the other one sounds normal, one sounds so low, they can't do nothing to bring up their audio. And like I said, my computer's trying to figure out a range, and then it lowers the overall audio on the computer. Then I got to mess with the mixer board. I got a audio interface. I have a equalizer. There's too much equipment in between the sound card itself to the mixer that goes to that audio interface, which then goes into an equalizer and then comes back into the computer to complete the loop. Unless they all figure out their audio and get it right and come on Discord, then I would do it. But right now, it drives me nuts. It stresses me. It frustrates me. And it's just the honest truth. You had the same problem with Discord? I mean, it's great. It's a great platform to use to communicate like that. But the shit just doesn't work out for me. It just doesn't. I gotta go get munchies later. It's been there for quite some time, the military move build up. But you gotta remember, everything started right after December 29th. So figure, how long has it really been? Couple of months tops that we pushed all these assets into the region? If that. But check this out, what I was reading when I got dropped. So, in case of limited U.S. strikes on Iran, the Islamic Republic does not need Hezbollah. It will be able to handle the situation by itself. Now this is a statement coming from the media propaganda arm in Iran for the regime, because Hezbollah made a statement that they will not get involved in the conflict unless the United States targets the mouse directly or the regime. So then they came out with this statement. Just listen to this statement, how ridiculous it is. Hezbollah knows this, which is why they will only intervene if there's a genuine threat to regime continuity. Even then, one could argue that Hezbollah shouldn't get involved. And I would not blame them at all if they chose not to. It is their right. Oh, really? So you wouldn't want, in a perfect scenario, Hezbollah to hit them from the north, the Houthis from the south, and you from the east? Really? Listen to the next line. Even then, one could argue. I read that. The Shia, listen to this. The Shia of Lebanon have suffered immensely. Hezbollah is not a proxy of Iran. Listen to that again. Hezbollah is not a proxy of Iran. It doesn't exist to serve Iran's interests. What? It exists primarily to protect the Shia community of Lebanon, preserve the culture of resistance in Lebanon. Yeah, the culture of resistance. And advance the interests of the believers in the south, Bekaa and Beirut. In case Iran falls, which I hope won't happen, and I don't think it will, to even say that makes them say that they're thinking about it. Lebanon will be the last bastion of 12 Shia resistance, alongside some isolated factions in Iraq. Yes, if Iran experienced hardships, the Shia of Lebanon would experience these hardships even more. And the Islamic Republic's support is fundamental to the health and well-being of the Lebanese resistance. They know how important that is. That's why it has to be taken out. But one should know that the Lebanese youth possess a revolutionary spirit. Oh, really? I wonder why. And culture of resistance way before Iranian Shias did. This is worth conserving and protecting regardless of all else that happens. The Lebanese resistance existed before the Islamic Republic and will continue to exist. The Imam is here, although behind the scenes he prays for us constantly and directs our affairs with the guidance of Allah. Even if only a handful of faithful Shia remain, they would overcome forces much greater than them, God willing, like they did in the past. It's passing over your head, literally, Vincenzo. Oh, yeah, that's right. Look, Italy. Well, it's close. So that's what's coming out from the other side. Hezbollah is not a proxy of ours. We don't really need them because the Lebanese government warned them that they got a warning from Israel. And they said, don't get involved. The Lebanese government told them, don't get involved. Because if you do, Israel's going to hit our infrastructure. They're going to hit our airports, power grid, who knows? Don't do it. And that's why they came out with this statement now saying, oh, we're not going to get involved unless U.S. does this. Changing the tune because they know. And then Iran is saying, oh, we don't really need them. They're not really a proxy because they know they're going to get shit wiped. And they're trying to preserve it. Once the money's cut off, that's done. Some people say, oh, well, China will do it. You know, they'll get money from another source. What's up, Navi? Long time no see. So this is such bullshit, but it's all over the place. It's all over the place. Let me hear this. It says here, Indian Prime Minister Modi declares full support for Israel.
On October 7, we feel your pain. We share your grief. India stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond.
And that's the little clip that they put. They're emphasizing that the propaganda arm of the regime put that clip out. Modi's statement that the full support of Israel from this point and beyond. No need to be sorry. So they put that out there. It'd be nice to hear the whole speech, what Modi says. I'm sure it's available somewhere. I don't know if it's still ongoing chaos. I don't know if you're in chat. If you could let us know if he's still speaking to the Knesset. I'm going to look it up. But they're focused on that. In India saying they back Israel 100%. Oh, there's more clips. There is more.
For the last few years, India has been fastest growing major economy in the world. Soon, we will be among the top 3 economies globally. At the same time, Israel is a powerhouse of innovation and technological leadership. This creates a natural foundation for our forward-looking partnership.
Forward-moving partnership. They awarded him with the Speaker of the Knesset Medal of Honor. It is the highest parliamentary distinction. They chanted Modi as he got on the floor. They chanted Modi, Modi. That's the clip that keeps showing up. And they're pushing that about the medal. That's mostly what is in here. And I could play a clip, but...
Namaste.
That's just a clip showing how they're supporting Modi. They were chanting his name, standing ovation. And he actually spoke in Hebrew too. But that's most of the clips. It would have been nice to hear the context. And that's basically it. They're really pushing that on X. President Trump's speech last night was tremendous. There were so many. I mean, I watched it. And again, depending on your political affiliation, obviously there'll be different takes on it. Let's see what else we can find before I get off. Because I'm not going to just keep everybody here when there's really no developments. We're waiting to see what happens tomorrow in Geneva. Modi's in Israel till tomorrow evening. We will know more tomorrow. Definitely. But we say that every time. They have a meeting to only know that they're going to have another meeting. Will there be another meeting? God only knows. I mean, really. We're at that point. Anything's possible. All right, let's check the last social medias before we say goodbye. I think we covered everything that's out there for now. Let me try this one. Same thing. The U.S. most powerful spy plane, the RC-135, has been gathering intelligence over Iran for the last 24 hours. We mentioned that earlier. So nothing new here. They wrote, quick question. If you're in the position of Iran, would you ever hand over uranium and the missiles? Sounds dumb to me if anyone accepts, but let's hear your thoughts. So they put that question out. U.S. Treasury Department, 12 ships and tankers linked to Iran have been sanctioned. So nothing really new on that one. Oh shit, look what Bessent said today. This is a quote from Secretary of Treasury. Iran exploits financial systems to sell illicit oil, launder the proceeds, procure components for its nuclear and conventional weapons programs. Remember what he just said. Procure components for its nuclear and conventional weapons programs. They're saying nuclear. And support its terrorist proxies. He said that today. So that has to be connection with the deal that's on the table. I would assume he just came out with that and said that. And now there's others reporting. The U.S. Treasury Department on Wednesday imposed new Iran-related sanctions on 4 individuals as well as several entities and tankers. A notice on the department's website showed. We need to go to the Treasury Department website. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. But this is sanctions. Remember, they're... Treasury targets Iran shadow fleet network supplying ballistic missile and ACW programs. So they know that the ballistic missile program is an issue, obviously. It even says it, but we just read. But this is about the sanctions. Under President Trump's strong leadership, Treasury will continue to put maximum pressure on Iran to target the regime's weapons capabilities and support for terrorism, which it has prioritized, oh my God, over the lives of the Iranian people. And that's the end quote. But it's there. Look at the flagships. It lists them. Wow, they're targeting companies. Oh, look at that. Targeted 9 individuals or entities based in Iran, Turkey, and the UAE that have facilitated the procurement of precursor chemicals and sensitive machinery for the IRGC and MODAFL and their respective missile and ACW programs, as well as proliferated UAVs to third countries. Wonder who the third countries are. Russia? In line with the Trump administration's commitment to sustaining maximum pressure on Iran, these sanctions seek to disrupt procurement networks that support Iran's missile and UAV development, which Tehran continues to prioritize at the expense of the Iranian people. This just came out today. I'll put the link if you guys want to read the whole thing. This is significant on one end. Oh, Kevin, I can't imagine. So there's the link if you guys want to read about this. This came out today. And, it'll take you some little time to read. Click more information about the persons designated. And they actually put out the names. Look at that. And the companies. Wow, this is extensive. So if you guys just click that link at the bottom, and it'll take you to that page right here. On that link I just put in chat, you might want to read this because it's connected. So that's interesting. Let's see if there's another Besset comment. We read that. I think that's all he said. Because that's the only thing that's in quotes. But you guys, if you should read this. Because it's definitely connected. But is this enough? Is this enough pressure? Hell no. They don't care. Because they're not going to give in. This is going to put a lot more pressure on them. Financially, economically. The regime, the IRGC, etc. And just think, they went in, just think about this. They going into the meeting saying the United States has to remove all sanctions. Well, today, before the meetings tomorrow, they just imposed a bunch more. Good luck. They did the opposite. The United States did the opposite. They're not removing sanctions. They're adding sanctions. They're adding even more pressure to you. Before the meetings tomorrow. Oops. Oopsie. If you think you're going to get sanctions lifted, yeah, you just got a bunch more. More tankers too, more of your oil. You know what I mean? So this makes no sense. It's the opposite. They might talk the talk, but the opposite things are happening in the background. The United States is applying even more pressure. Take the deal. I'm telling you, the president must be so frustrated right now with power through strength that they're not caving and they're doing this. It has to come to a point where he says, that's it. I'm done. I ain't playing this game. I didn't play this game before. Well, now it's Midnight Hammer times 100, maybe 1,000. You know what I mean? It's like, you really want to go down this path? He's got to come to the point where he says, that's it. We're done. We're done. And it's getting real close to that. What's up, I was going to say, I'll just say it like that. I never knew how to say that. I'll just say Eric. Damarinolo. I never tried to even pronounce that this whole time we've known each other, like Damarinolo. Not so United Kingdom, not so Great Britain, you mean? Oh, God. And that's another thing for those that live Midnight Mallet. For real, it was more than a hammer. Sounds like a punk band. You know where they're all going to be able to flee to, right? Because the EU's not taking them. Maybe they go to Russia. But it looks like the UK might be the main destination for a lot of these IRGC family members. Who knows? It might be coming to the UK. Maybe France, but they're part of the EU. That's, you guys aren't. So guess where they're all going to be heading? Unless the UK designates them a terrorist organization. Oh my God. They're coming there. I got it right, Eric? So, give me a break. UK, you got, I mean, of course we have our issues here, but that is just crazy. And yeah, so much for Starmer's talk about Diego Garcia. This aircraft of ours right there, right now. So much for that, Starmer. Do something about it. Go ahead. Do something about it. Definitely. The UK is the destination of a lot of them now. Like I said, it could be Russia, but do they really want to live in Russia, or would they rather live in the UK? Where there's, they can kind of blend right in the way things are in the UK. I hate to say that sarcastically like that, but it's the truth, right? They'll fit right in. London? You guys know this better than I do. I'm not there. You guys know this. In the UK. It's crazy. I have to say, it depends. Because there's pockets of communities everywhere, of all different types of ethnicities, groups, all that. Not here. There's not that kind of community here. Just saying. It's, you know what, Jack, and I'm going to get off soon because I have to. I got to go out and take care of stuff. But with more snow this morning. When somebody told me, it was Frankie in Discord, when Frankie told me that you guys can't even say Happy Christmas because it might offend people, that is lunacy. That you can't fly the flag? What? Because other people might get upset? Are you nuts? The union? Are you... what? Bro, you don't give up cleanly. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if to take that as that's a positive or negative comment. Oh my gosh. Should we... what's going on? Russia won't cooperate with an extradition order. Oh, absolutely. Did they with Snowden? Well, we've seen that in the past. So, I mean, come on. I mean, it's just crazy. But, what's up? Just, oh my God, I can't even try to figure that out right now, dude. Living life. How's that? What's up, living life? Shit, I wish I was living life. Like, really living life. Things are stressful. Oh my gosh, but I would say that, look, like I said, I'm going to get off soon because I have to. I got to go out, get things, medication, all that. This morning I woke up to snow and I was like, what the, stop it. Enough of this, enough. Now they're saying there could be another big major storm next week. I'm like, that's it. I had it. I'm done. The stresses of life, even things like that. So, look, we pray for peace, but at this point, do you think this can result without some kind of a conflict? Do you think there's going to be a deal? Well, you've been following the situation closely for a long time. On the one hand, it's a positive comment, so as I understand it, but on the other hand, it's a negative comment. Tired of it? It's true, dude. It's like every day. Every day. It's you try to be objective and look at the two sides of it, but it really does. It makes your head spin. It's really, not for nothing, body. it is really hard to be objective because obviously people have their own opinions. But at the same time, you want to be responsible and give everyone a voice to speak their opinions and respect. That's it. Obviously, I lean a certain way. At the same time, though, I try to stay in the middle as much as possible. Somebody says something, I say, you know what? That's a great point. Because in my opinion, it is. It is. It's a great point. I value it. I value that because I'm not going to profess to know everything. Obviously, absolutely not. I'm not sure if we're still on. The screen started flashing. It's OBS. It is definitely OBS. I'm going to have to update. Yeah. The problem is, body, here's the problem. For many of us, we don't have a place to go to get information about what's going on in Iran. Because the media here is not covering it, really, in general. They're not. That's why, and I'm just saying, people like Tusi, whether you agree or disagree with them, Goldie, Armin, they're putting this out there. They're providing it to the public. Read brutal comment above. I don't see it. Which comment? I'm having issues. Something's going on with OBS. I haven't seen anything new from this guy. Well, today was something new. What the Treasury Department released. That was new. That was today. That's important. That's connected directly to Iran. Sanctioning their oil companies, individuals. That's new. And the wording is strong by the Secretary of Treasury. Bassett. Test your might, Mortal Kombat, Eugene. So, yes, there is. Look, this is news. This is him flying to Switzerland, the foreign minister. That didn't happen yesterday. It's happening today. That's new. He's on his way to Geneva. Good morning, Yo-Yo. I'm just using Tusi as an example. Many enjoy watching his streams. Some do not. That goes without saying. Same with me or anyone else. Any stream out there, period. That's part of it. It's choice. You either choose to or you don't. But like I said, the media here in general is not even talking about it. It was important for the president to even bring it up yesterday during the State of the Union. Because I truly believe that a lot of the people here just aren't getting the information that is relevant to the situation here and how serious it is about a potential war with Iran. So, new news requires something new to happen to report. Bill can report on the speculation news, but tries to report on news which has been vetted some. And we all try to participate in that. All of us here play a role in contributing to putting information out there. We bring it to my attention and we do it. It happens all the time. This is not just me. This is all of us together. So if you have something to contribute, Bill, check out this. Go check out X and look up this, or look at this news article. And I mean, that's what it's about. It's also just like simple. We the people. We the people. The power is in the people. We have to take steps to provide and share information. There's some people out there that like to share information that is, I'll put it straight up, evil. They enjoy it. Some of them are sadistic. They have fun doing things like that. They actually enjoy it. So, there's so much out there. And trust me, it is really hard to filter out these days. Do you trust anything? It's really hard to filter the truth. And even though you might think something is true, is it really true? I mean, like I said, it can make your head spin. They're a little behind on their information right now. Yeah, they're both putting it out. The pro-regime media outlet just put it out. That Israel honored Modi, awarded him with the highest honor in Israel, the Knesset Speaker Medal. That's what they're sharing right now. So that is true. That did happen. I saw the video. I seen the video of the Knesset. So that confirms that did actually happen. Oh my God. This is what Vance said today. The vice president. The president has been crystal clear as he could be. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. He's going to try to accomplish it diplomatically. I don't know how that happens. Going to try to accomplish it diplomatically? How? Iran's not going to agree to zero. And are you going to compromise that they can enrich uranium for civilian? Again, repeating over and over and over again. It's the same shit. It's sickening after a while. It really is. It's getting played out. So basically, that's what's going on. There's going to be a meeting tomorrow. The U.S. is meeting with Iranian, well, not really meeting with them. Indirectly, there's a meeting because the Omanis will be the intermediary. And then we're going to meet with Ukraine officials, a bilateral meeting in Geneva as well, just like last week. It's almost the same exact thing. Meet with the Iranians, then meet with the Ukrainians. I think the Russians were part of last week, though. They're not going to be there this time. That's what's going on. So, well, I appreciate that, Body. So we try. That's all we can do is try to share information that's relevant. But anyway, like I said, I don't know if I have the article again. You guys might want to read this, and I posted it early, but you may want to read this article. I'll post the link again about the Secretary of Treasury, Bessent, today's press release in regards to Iran. You guys can read this on your own time. Then at the very bottom, you're going to want to click this link because it actually lists the persons, companies, right here. If you really want to see, this is new, this is today. So you guys can look at this at your own convenience. But this happened today. And I'll read it one more time what Bessent said. Iran exploits financial systems to sell illicit oil, launder the proceeds, procure components for its nuclear and conventional weapons programs. Notice how he says nuclear and conventional weapons programs. And support its terrorist proxies. Under President Trump's strong leadership, Treasury will continue to put maximum pressure on Iran to target the regime's weapons capabilities and support for terrorism, which it has prioritized over the lives of the Iranian people. This was this morning. So I'm going to copy this and put it in chat. And you guys can overlook that. Don't forget, go to the bottom if you want to see specific details about it. Right there. But I'm going to jump off now. Love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Prayers. Peace. And if you live in the region in any of these areas, just please protect yourselves, your families, your neighbors, your friends. Do as best you can to prepare for the possibility or eventuality of some kind of conflict there. I'm sure there are many people that don't want to see this happen, because nobody wants war. But the way things are looking, the tensions and the rising rhetoric and where we're at right now, either way, something's about to go down. Whether by some miraculous way they come up with some deal, or if not, then the repercussions, and then also, does Israel act unilaterally for the missile program? So there's still a lot going on out there, and we need to pay attention to what's going on. Anyway, for those in the UK, cheers. Enjoy your dinner right about now. If anybody ever wants to send me something, I'm just kidding, please send me over some shepherd's pie. I can never get enough of real UK British shepherd's pie. Never can get enough of it. Send it over. I want to see the people of Iran freed and for people of Israel to stop being attacked. That is the perfect scenario, yo-yo. But remember, there's a lot of people that don't want that for so many reasons. Just remember that. Even the countries in the region and how it changes the power structure. For so many reasons, whether that people that are anti-Semitic, whatever it is, a lot of people don't want to see that happen. Just remember that. They don't. Do you really think they really care? They look at for their own best self-interests. If it was that easy, this is a no-brainer. It would be a no-brainer to help the Iranian people and create peace in the region so that the people of Israel can finally get to the place of peace, like literally living in peace. In a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. It's corruption, greed, power, influence. You know what I mean? I'm buying pizza for 1 month. Exactly. Is it yo-yo? Okay, because I thought I was reading that wrong. Anyway, let me jump off. Love to all of you. See you all maybe later. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever it is. And I'll see you guys later. Till then, peace out.